Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're taking a real step back in time today and looking at the Transformers Dark of the Moon Human Alliance Basic Class Backfire. I saw this guy in alt mode first and thought it was so cool and so weird, and that's totally why I got him. Anyway, we're going to cover everything to do with this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, me everywhere, and spend some time on the channel, see what catches your interest. Hey, why not check out Universal Collision while you're at it? Okay, so this is the way the guy comes out of package. He comes with a Spike Whitwicky figure that I don't have. As of this recording, I picked this guy up about a week ago at Sci-Fi on the Rock from the good folks at JJ's Fun Stop, and you never know, kind of, with the hobby shops and whatnot, what sort of jewels you're going to happen upon. Now, they carry a lot more than, you know, Transformers, but of course, that's where my passion lies. So this is the guy I picked up totally because he was a little bit outlandish and weird. Here he is in robot mode. His paint apps, well, I don't really have anything to compare him to. I don't think he was actually in Dark of the Moon, but I like the way that the grays, the blacks, even the silver on his chest plays. There is, though you're not going to really see it here, there's beautiful orange light piping if the light catches it the right way. I love the paint apps. They're 10. I think he looks great. I really do. Even the touch of orange on his inner thigh kind of helps break up all of the dark. So I think that that's really cool. So he's starting out pretty strongly. Then we get to articulation. Well, the head can go left and right. I guess up and down a little bit, but not really. The shoulders, they can go all the way around. Not really much in the way of an elbow bend. More of an elbow bend back, which is weird. It can go, you know, out to the side. That's also weird. And this little handle piece that is, it's not really his hand, because his fingers are actually molded inside this gray piece of his arm. So I guess it's part of the back of his hand. That can fold down and out if you want to elongate it a little bit. But I don't think it's actually supposed to. The arms go out this far to the side, so that's great. Nothing at the waist, as you would sort of expect. The legs go way out to the side, so that's also excellent. All the way forward, and surprisingly far back, considering all of this junk and kibble on the back of his leg. The knees do bend. Again, you're going to move the kibble, but they do bend, and I mean, I got about 90 degrees there now, to my shock. There is a little bit of a thigh swivel, which is pretty cool. No bicep swivel. So I guess that's unfortunate. But I mean, this guy's a few years old now, and you know, the technology and whatnot of the time was a little bit different. So I kind of go lenient on him, to be honest with you. So I'm going to give his articulation, for the time stuff that came out. I don't really like the arms. I think that they're kind of an epic fail. But I'm going to give his articulation about a 6, 6.5. It's alright. You can get a few dynamic poses, but those arms are probably going to be a disappointment to you. This guy had the old C-clip sort of joints on his weapons. I'm going to take him out of it and show this. It's a cool looking blaster. I love it. He has 2 of them. I guess technically he holds them in his hands. We have a C-clip down here, and that's how they hold on. Besides that, they're on a ball joint and can move all over the place. So that's actually kind of cool. And I really do sort of kind of dig that, to be honest with you. And when you clip them on, I mean, it kind of looks like he's holding them. You know, I can see the argument for him holding them. Here he is next to Titans Return Nah. So you can see he's a bit bigger than a current Legends class. I think that he was more of like a Scout class maybe. But of course we've had decreases in size over time anyway. I've done a few paint apps on Nah. I'm thinking of actually doing some more. If I do, I will update that for you. And I looked at Nah in full in episode 265. Man, I waited a long time to get that guy. So the only other thing that I sort of noticed in this mode is this weird peg back here. It's a 5mm peg, and I was like, well, why is that? Because believe it or not, this guy is, though on his packaging it says triple changer, he's actually kind of like a quad changer, if you can believe that, and if you can really use your imagination for his other really peculiar modes. So let's get into the transformation from here. Like I said, a 10 for paint apps, posability, playability, it's about a 6 because of those underwhelming arms. The guy's about an 8 right now. So what do we do for his transformation? Well, let's take these blasters off. You could leave them on if you want, but I think it's going to be easier for our purposes if they're off than if I just attach them after the fact. You begin to do the first one by pulling down his hips. So take the leg out to the side and angle down the hip. You can see the little kind of gold piece over right there. And you do the same, of course, on the other side. Angle it down. And you want to get these all the way down if you can. You should be able to. And then you tab these together. And you take the tires, and the tires are your traditional, kind of your traditional tires where you have, 3 pegs on one tire, 3 holes on another tire, and you gotta line them up to get them to stay together. Even then it's a little dodgy if it's actually gonna stay together. So we line all this up, we make sure that we have this tire together, although it just came undone now you don't want to line up for me. There you go, we got that much done. Yeah, we got that much done. Then you take the chest piece and that whole engine block thing and you pull it out and slide his head in. It doesn't go in all the way, but you slide his head in basically as much as you can. Then you take the arms up over his head. So now his arms are up over his head, and the whole shoulder piece comes down into the side here and angles in and angles in. There's a gold hinge up here on his elbow section, we'll say. You angle those in and in, and then you put these two pieces together. They'll tab into each other quite nicely, actually. And you take this tire and you bring it around to the back and bring that around to the back, and now we have a hover bike. I don't have, unfortunately, the Spike figure, but the Spike figure would fit in back right here and really be able to hold on to this little black section as handles, basically. Hover bike. Hover bike. Okay, like I said, you really need to use your imagination. Or, because there's this peg down here, this is actually a target master, so it could be a blaster. I guess just because I have him close, let's just see here, because I have this guy close, will it fit in there? There you go. Here's Barricade from Transformers The Last Night. Let me back this up a bit. Here's Barricade from Transformers The Last Night trying to wield them, but not with any success because He's just too heavy. It's a cool idea, but like, wow. Wow. Now that being said, Barricade would never wield this guy because he's actually an Autobot. Maybe I should have gotten like my evasion mode Optimus or something. So taking that out of it and laying it there. Okay, so this still isn't the mode that I saw him in. So far we've seen a robot, we've seen a hover bike, and we've seen I guess a blaster mode. All right, I guess he's a fine hover bike, I suppose. We'll say he is. Okay, so then that being said, I guess you could angle this up. By the way, in this same mode, whether you're using him as a hover bike or whether you're using him as a, you know, as a blaster, and by the way, this whole orange section is supposed to be, you know, his cannon, his biggest cannon, but you still have a couple of sections up here where you could put that blaster on, and you could put, if it wants to let me do it, this blaster on, and there you go. Now it's like triple barrel, I guess. So it's interesting, I'll give it that. It's certainly interesting. I don't know if it's good, but it's interesting. And it's not hard to get into it. You take the hips down, you put the legs together, you put his arms over his head, and then you bring them down. So it's not challenging, really. Now, for his last mode, we bring those forward. And we push. We bring the tires forward, we take these gray sections and push them down. And if you had these black handles up, we'll say, you push them all the way down now as well. We're going to come here and we're going to kind of break the tire apart there. We come to the back, and actually I guess we should split the legs here. Split the legs, straighten this whole section out, and straighten this whole section out. So all we've really done there is straighten out the rear part of the legs. This whole thing is going to flip up over the top here. Oh, actually I guess that was supposed to go bent down this way. Sorry. This whole thing at the knee will go bent up over, and we'll try and kind of finagle the tire past the fuel canister on his leg. I'm saying it's a fuel canister on his leg. They're on ball joints, so sometimes they like to pop off. So we'll bring that down, bend this up at the knee, bring it all the way up. Same here. We'll bend this tire down and flip it up at the knee. Now, once you got the two legs up, again, you peg the legs together, which isn't usually hard. It's a little more challenging when you're doing it on camera, of course, and it doesn't want to cooperate. Peg those together, peg that together. Why are you not pegging together for me? Sometimes you gotta pick up that section to do it. And there's a series of tabs and pegs here that brings it all together, so that works pretty well, to be honest with you. There, and now bring that down if you had to lift it up. Now you got all of that pegged together. When you bring it forward, there's two little pegs right here in the front. They go into this rectangular slot right here. They slot in just like that. And if you had this chest piece out, well, I guess you could actually leave the head up, but you're supposed to put it down. You come back to the rear of the vehicle, you bring the two tire pieces down, and you, of course, need to peg the two tire pieces together. Which is hit or miss if they want to really peg together very well. I'm probably doing the tires incorrectly, but boom, there you go. And in the end, there he is. It's like a trike with both tires up front. I'm sure there's an actual name on it, but it's so weird and so cool. Not hard. Transformation, Honestly, it would look like it would be challenging with all the bits and pieces. It's not. It's a good 8 for anyone. It's pretty great. Spike would be able to sit here on the seat if I had him. And of course, you still have these 2 sections back right here by the rear tire where you can use those C-clips. You put one on there, and I just took his back tire apart, but that's minor. You put the other C-clip on right there. Obviously I didn't have the tire lined up. I probably still don't have it lined up. There. And in the end, I guess we'll even angle these up. In the end, I mean, there you go. It's such a cool, weird, quirky looking little vehicle. I love it. I really do love it. He rolls well. No real problems there. I like him. I don't have any connection to him, but I like him for being a quirky, weird little character. In the end, I'm going to give the guy that apparently likes to weave on the streets and hunt down Oil Pan, who I also have no connection to. But I'm going to give the guy an 8. He's a fun little Human Alliance figure. And I've heard good things about the entire Human Alliance line. So I guess I shouldn't really be so shocked that this little guy, as quirky and weird as he is, actually turned out pretty great. Anyway, that's it for this one. Another one in the books. I appreciate you dropping by, giving me some of your valuable time. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.